On Friday, as I talked about on Monday, when Donald Trump's administration announced the tariffs were coming on Saturday, immediately following that announcement, stock market goes in the toilet. But obviously over the weekend, we're not having trading on weekends. So we had to wait until Monday to see if the stocks were going to rebound. Was it a one-time thing? And it turns out that, oh God, no, it was not, folks. Monday saw the S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow all take giant hits, effectively wiping out billions of dollars from the stock market. Billions of dollars, and it is 100% due to Donald Trump's trade war. Now, that right? I'm not giving you any information that you didn't already know was happening. What I have to tell you right now, though, is something pretty hilarious, right? I mean, I guess technically as hilarious as a stock market crash can be, which typically not funny, right? But this is kind of funny. And I'm sorry, but sometimes we got to find humor even in the darkest of times. And that is what I am trying to do right here. So on CNN, about midday Monday, right? They're talking about Donald Trump's tariffs. You had a host by the name of Richard Quest. And he's talking about the tariffs in the stock market and how all of this is affecting it. And here's what he said. This makes perfect sense if you think of the sheer vast swaths, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of goods being on both sides that are going to be hit. This makes perfect sense because what is a stock price? The stock price is a barometer of a company's current and future earnings. They will go down. He was then, some crosstalk, and then he says, look, I think it's going to be a Pyrrhic victory. It is when Canada and or Mexico prostrate themselves and say, yes, we will do whatever it takes, very similar to the Colombia incident. When you see enough that will satisfy the president's view of success. We don't know what that barometer is, but I'm guessing it involves an element of groveling. I suspect it involves an element of you were right, we were wrong, and there's going to have to be some form of concessions. Then they'll change, but in the meantime... And at that point, he stopped. He stopped talking because on screen they had a stock ticker. And kind of like the Jim Carrey movie, Fun with Dick and Jane, as he was talking, the stock market's just diving. Their little stock ticker is going like way down into the red, and he stopped mid-sentence to be like, holy crap. And then he goes, whoa, look at that. Down 513 points? This could go on for days, he added. So the sudden drop in the stock market, again, that's happening as he's talking and explaining like, yeah, this is bad. It's going to get so much worse. It's just down, 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 down. Again, something that, again, when that Jim Carrey movie came out, that was basically just a comical thing, right? Like that would never happen in real life. So let's put it in a movie to make it this over-exaggerated, horrible thing. And then it happened. It literally happened on CNN, causing Richard Quest to just sit there dumbfounded for a minute because the stock market tanked so badly. Now, I will tell you what's not funny. What's not funny is the fact that as the stock market goes, unfortunately, so does the economy. We have tied it to this imaginary thing because that is what the stock market is. Let's be honest. It's a thing we just made up that doesn't need to exist. But because of the way it does exist, because of how it was created, it is tied directly to the economy. So if the stock market tanks, the economy tanks. But more importantly, your 401ks tank. Your small-time investments tank. It's not just the wealthy people on Wall Street that took a hit yesterday and will continue taking hits throughout this time. It's anybody that has a retirement account. It's anybody that, is maybe put a little bit of money in the market. Working class people have money there too. And what's happening to them is not okay, and it's not funny. But I will remind everyone every day if I have to. This crash, the fact that you may not even be able to retire now, based on the decision of one man, and that man is Donald J. Trump. He did this to you. Never forget it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.